thank you for joining me and for being curious about this new creation. It's been speaking to me for some time, and it's really cool how when we have these whispers of possibilities and we start moving towards them, what unfolds. I don't have a set script. This is just a creation that is unfolding with everybody who participates and anybody who's interested in playing. And for the most part, I've been doing some of these as individual sessions with people where I ask questions and tap into the person's world and see what it is that they're stepping into, what they're facing in their life, and what I know about gemstones and what they can contribute to you. I create this concoction of energies through the crystals that people can wear. And when they wear it, it begins to create this different energy in their body and in their life that starts to expand and contribute to what they're choosing and where they'd like to go, what they'd like to be. So I wanted to share with you some information about jewels and gemstones and the different qualities that they be. And I also wanted to, see if you had any questions, if you have anything specific that you would like me to address. And you can go ahead and unmute yourself or type something in the chat. And if there are no questions specifically, I can just start talking about all these amazing stones that I have here with me. Like, this happens to be one of my favorite pieces to keep near my computer, actually. This is a natural crystal formation of citrine. And citrine is for success and abundance and mental clarity. And it's funny, I don't think about it when I place them in places in my home or in my business. I just place them because it feels good. So this is something that I guess I've built over time, this awareness of energies and when they contribute or where they contribute. It's sort of like where you're going to put a plant in the garden so that it's going to grow. And if you put it somewhere where it gets too much shade or too much sun, it withers, So we can place these things or wear these things so that they contribute to our lives and make it easier and greater. So citrine, I love seeing the natural way that they grow. And a lot of people have only seen it as a cut stone set in something. But when I had my jewelry boutique, I'll show it again. When I had my jewelry boutique, I always had pieces of the raw stone and then pieces of jewelry that I made so that you could see how it's created in the ground and what it looks like naturally, and then what it can be turned into. Sometimes stones are rough that you can turn into creations, and sometimes they're cut and polished and shaped. And I just go by the energy of what it feels like and what I'm drawn to that I'd like to wear. And this is what I do with people who are looking for something. We look at what's gonna bring out that exciting sparkle, the joy that's gonna entice them, their being, to show up more in the world. Because most of the time people are reserved and sitting back and little me, don't bring any attention over here, But when you start to wear gemstones and jewelry, It doesn't have to be some big flashy thing, but it allows your being to show up more, and it allows you to have a greater presence in the world. And when you have a greater presence, more of your customers can find you, more of your friends can find you. It just allows easier engagement when you're here and present and available. So I'll just let that sink in a little bit for you. And let's look at some other, one of my very favorites, Pyrite. Now, Pyrite, a lot of people call it fool's gold. It is not fool's gold. Part of the reason they say that is because it has a really dense weight to it, like gold, and it's not gold. Gold is gold and Pyrite is Pyrite. And I wouldn't be fooled to think that this is gold. It has a very different energy than gold. So Pyrite is what I call healer's gold. It's very nurturing and healing to your body, and it's got this creative element to it. It's very naturally sparkly on its own. You don't have to polish it to have it sparkle. I mean, just look at it. It's like so cool. And because it has this weight, it's really nurturing to wear, like this piece that just, I don't know, it kind of hugs you. I should have brought some jewelry that, well, I'll post some photos of jewelry that I've made with Pyrite so that you can see. I forgot about that. I just gathered these stones together to talk about stones. So gold has a different energy, and gold is really, really a cool substance to play with. It's very different than silver. When I'm working with gold, it's very bouncy. It's not as malleable as silver. Silver will bend and twist, and you can hammer it a whole lot easier than gold, especially high content gold. Like there's 14 karat gold or 18 karat gold, as opposed to gold filled, which is gold bonded to a base metal of bronze usually. A lot of people don't know the difference between gold filled and gold plated. Gold plated is very, very little gold. It's almost like sprayed on. But gold filled is a really decent alternative to solid gold if you're not interested in investing that much. And you still get the energy of the gold. The thing about gold in itself is that it doesn't tarnish. No matter what, it doesn't tarnish. It always shines. It always knows what it is. It knows that it's amazing, and it just shines. Even if it was in a pirate ship and buried treasure in the bottom of the ocean for hundreds of years, when you dig it up, it's still shiny gold. And when we try to oxidize it, and like we do silver, you can oxidize it and make it blackened. It doesn't stay. Like you can have a ring. I made actually a ring with gold, and I wanted it to be oxidized gold and orange diamonds, and you put it on, and within a day or two, all the oxidization comes off, because gold likes to shine. It likes to be bright and not get covered up by anything else. And it's like when we wear gold, when we attune ourselves to the vibration of gold, we end up not taking on other people's caked on lies and different kinds of points of view that keep us from knowing what we truly are and knowing the gift and the value of ourselves. So wearing gold invites you to be more of that. And it has this wealth and this happiness and this, it's just amazing. I'm wearing a gold chain that's made for a stopwatch, not a stopwatch, a pocket watch. But I'm not wearing the watch because I didn't feel like it. And it's just nice to have solid gold. It has a nice weight to it, like the pyrite. And sometimes we like things that are just light and not going to weigh you down, but it's going to feel light and fun and invite you to be more playful. So there's things for that too. Let's see. There is rose quartz. A lot of people know rose quartz and they think of it as the heart stone because it's soft and it invites you to open your heart to be open to love, romance, self-love. And, you know, when you're willing to honor and love yourself, you invite in more love from other people. So that's a nice one. And I chose 2 different turquoise pieces. Turquoise is really amazing. There's some really super bright turquoise, which is called Sleeping Beauty turquoise. You know, like Sleeping Beauty wears that bright blue dress. And it also has these lines of other minerals in there, the brown, which is really cool looking. And then this is another turquoise. I think this one's from Arizona. So turquoise is a master healer stone. And I did have this customer who was a doctor, and it was really interesting. She said that she loved turquoise and she wore silver and turquoise all the time. And she said that it would get tarnished really easily. And what I was getting from that is silver is a metal that is, one of its qualities is to remove negative energies. And so when it gets tarnished, it's just doing its job. It's removing negative energies and it's like getting caked on there. Remember, gold doesn't do that. Gold just shines. So I made a piece for her with turquoise and gold. And I said that wearing this when she's working in the hospital, you know, see what it feels like, see how that contributes to your body. And a month later, she came back and she said that she felt so much better. She had so much more energy at work, that she didn't take on so much from the patients. And her body just felt better and more nurtured. And this is what we're looking at. Well, this is what I look at in the things that I have in my life. Do the clothes that I wear nurture my body? Do the jewels that I wear nurture my body? Does it invite me to choose greater and be more and show up in the world, or not? And depending on what you're choosing and what inspires you, what can you add to your life? And what would make it easier for you to step into the new spaces and places and things that you're choosing? There's a lot of energy on that. So you may or may not know, I'm also a facilitator of Access Consciousness, and we use clearing statements to clear energies that keep us from choosing beyond it. And I wasn't sure I was going to do this, but why not? I'll use the clearing statement here because there's like all this kind of interesting energy coming up. So everywhere you are resistant to receiving contribution from gemstones to your body and to your life, will you let that go? Will you destroy and uncreate all the points of view that keep that from showing up? And I'll use the Access Clearing Statement, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And so if you'd like to know more about the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, you can go to theclearingstatement.com, and there's like a 45-minute detailed description of it, but it's sort of like abracadabra, and it just allows the energy to change. And the thing that's really funny to me is that, like, I've been a person most of my life who's like fought for what I wanted, like fight to overcome. People used to tell me, you know, you can't make it as an artist, and I was like, I'll show you, I'll prove that I can. And so, you know, I created my life based on the resistance to what I had been told, instead of inviting in the contribution and the nurturing and the possibilities that would have made it so much easier. And as I started using these tools of Access Consciousness over the last 18 years, this is where I have morphed and started actually allowing the ease and allowing things to show up and allowing the contribution of the universe. You know, it's not this airy fairy thing. It actually is. And you can look through your life and find these places where maybe it was an emergency situation and everything just magically worked itself out. And those are the times when we allow the ease. But wouldn't it be nice if we had it all the time? So the way I work as a jeweler is to create these pieces that are a contribution, that invite people to receive the contribution and to show up. And it's amazing how many people would come to my shop and try on something and be like, well, I don't know, I don't usually wear long earrings or whatever, or I don't usually wear a necklace, or I never change my jewelry. And I say, okay, but you know, just try it, see what happens. And it's amazing how often they would come back and go, oh my God, this changed everything. You know, I show up different at work. I just got a raise. My husband pays more attention to me. Things like that. Like, what if just by changing your jewelry, everything in your life could work out better and easier? And you don't have to invest a huge amount of money, or you could. It really depends on what your choice is. And that's one of the things that I've always done, is I've created a huge range. Like, you can get something for $50, or you can get something for $500 or $5,000. And every time somebody purchases something, I always tell them, ask the piece if it will make you at least 10 times that amount. So if I buy this, let's say this earring, these earrings, will they make me 10 times that amount of money? And it's not a linear, logical trying to figure it out. It's empowering the gems to do their job. And it's asking them, will you make me money? And if they say yes, buy it, wear it, and you'll see this amazing, magical, energetic contribution that starts to change your world and starts to invite in amazing possibilities that maybe you hadn't thought about before. So let's talk about some other gemstones. Labradorite. Here is a nice, interesting slab of labradorite, and look at the it's sort of milky, iridescent. When it's not polished, it's like this rock, but you can still see the iridescence. Isn't that cool? It's like this gray rock, but it has these iridescent waves through it. It's kind of like a nebula, in the sky. Labradorite is balance and protection. And I had a customer who was really drawn to a Labradorite necklace, and she got it, and she wrote me an email. She was going through a divorce. And she said there were times when she was just really upset and going through the drama of it all. And she would hold her necklace and just put it on her body, and it would calm her down. How does it get better than that? Now, we have other tools in Access Consciousness to help you move through the drama of a divorce. I actually wrote a book about it. For those of you that don't know, it's called Beauty in the Breakup, Creating Beyond Your Breakup and Creating Your Life More Magical and Lighter and Brighter. And I actually have a free book club coming up next week. So if anybody knows anybody going through a breakup and needs some tools and wants to move beyond, you can try Labradorite and you can try reading the book. Somebody wrote something in the chat. My body gets really happy from gold. Sometimes even picking up a piece of jewelry or stone makes me feel different. When I start stroking it, cuddling it. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, it's just really cool how these things all have their own unique energies. Yeah. And like people would come into my shop and they would say, oh, I need something for this or I need something for that. And they'd go to my chart. I have this big chart. It's actually on my website, julietuton.com. It has all these gems and their energetic qualities. And they would go to the chart and try to figure out what they needed. And I said, let's not do it that way. That's kind of backwards. Look in the store and look at the pieces and see what your body is drawn to. And 100 times out of 100, they would always choose a piece and be drawn to it and then go look at the chart and go, oh my gosh, it totally makes sense. It's exactly what I need. So it's not about trying to figure this out logically with your mind. It's what are you drawn to? What are you attracted to? What lights your body up? Your body knows. Your body will receive the energies faster than you will. So like just playing with that and looking at what lights you up and being willing to gift yourself what lights you up is an amazing contribution. This is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is, to me, it's like stallion energy. It's like really strong earth. And tourmaline has a range of colors. It can go in those watermelon colors, the red, yellow, green, kind of olivey, and then it goes to black. And actually, all the gemstones have a range of colors. This happens to be a piece of amethyst. It's green and purple. And it grows that way. This is another piece of amethyst. Isn't it so pretty? So that's dark amethyst, and this is light amethyst. You see the difference? There's even pink amethyst and green amethyst. And it's all a matter of the pressure and the minerals in the earth and how they create this magical combinations of sparkling beauty. So like even diamonds have a range from black to all the rainbow to white. And mean, how many people know that you can find blue diamonds, and that there's green diamonds, and that there's orange diamonds? And what do we know about diamonds besides the typical white diamond for an engagement ring? What do we know about diamonds? When I asked myself that, I realized, like, wow, the longer they're in the earth, the whiter, brighter they get. So they start out as black coal, right? Compress, compress, and then it goes through the range of colors depending on the heat and the pressure and the time span, I guess. So you can see orange diamonds that are really beautiful colors, deep, rich to like burnt orange, and then there's pink and blue and green. It's just amazing. So what if we would open ourselves up to the energy of the stone, not, your typical, oh, the princess cut white diamond is only for engagement rings. A lot of people have these silly points of view about things, instead of like, wow, what would be fun and nurturing for my body? And actually, diamonds are for success and amplification. They're super, super hard. They use diamond bit drills to cut things. So, imagine wearing diamonds that like made you feel like you were super strong and you could cut through the hardest situation, because it's there having your back. Oh, somebody's saying that they can taste metal in their mouth when they touch it. Oh, that's kind of cool. What capacities do each of you have with gemstones and with precious metals that, if you would just ask the question, would open you up to more awareness about what you know? And that's another tool from Access Consciousness, is asking the question and allowing the awareness to come to you, instead of deciding, I don't know anything about this, or, I don't wear jewelry. What is that? I don't wear jewelry. That's just a decision. Would your body like it? Most of the time, it's a yes. It's very seldom that I don't feel well, but when I don't feel well, I'll put on my diamonds and pearls, and it contributes. And so my body has more energy and I feel better. Oh, somebody was asking about Peridot. Peridot, I don't happen to have any with me, but Peridot is for like the heart chakra, compassion, and balancing. And it's a tricky stone. I've noticed, well, maybe it's just the customers that I've seen, a lot of people have a tough time with the color. It's kind of a light green. And a lot of my customers like the more neutral, softer, you can wear with anything. And Peridot it can be quite bright. So that's what I can say about Peridot. And some people like it and some people don't. What else? What else would you guys like to know about? And what would it be like to indulge in wearing different pieces of jewelry, playing with jewelry, maybe taking it out of your safety deposit box or vault or drawer, wherever you've got it hidden? What would it take for you to wear it more often? I know, for one, pearls love to be worn, and if they're not worn, they get kind of dried out. So don't keep your pearls in a safety deposit box or a vault. put them on, wear them, even when you're doing your gardening. The pearls don't care. They just like to be worn. Oh, Vivian's saying Morganite. Yes, I love Morganite. Morganite is now becoming a new stone for like engagement rings and stuff, because it does have that softness and the romance and the heart. And it's a strong enough stone that it won't get banged up if you set it in a ring. Some stones are softer, so they'll get scratched. And that's another reason why they use diamonds a lot in engagement sets. Morganite is like this baby pink, peachy pink color. And I should have brought some of my pieces out. They're like back in the case over there. Maybe I'll do this again if anybody has any desire to hear more about this. Let's see. Oh, Christine says she loves her pearls in warm weather. They're cooling to me. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, when you first put them on, they are cool. But then they warm to the skin. And yeah, they're just amazing. Pearls are just very calming, kind of like the ocean or water. It dissipates the electrical charge of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That's what they do, pearls. That's what water does. You know, if you have static electricity and you spritz a little water, it dissipates the electrical charge. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions are electrical. They're positive and negative points of view attached to things. And if we were to simply observe and not put a positive or negative on things, we wouldn't get those sticky feelings about things. So pearls will help bring that calming energy. What stone helped feel safe in the world and feel that your life is valuable? Wow, that's an interesting question. Living in Northern California, what is safety? Because, you know, there are earthquakes. The ground moves. So what kind of safety are we talking about? To me, safety is in your awareness. The more awareness you have, the more ease you will have in whatever situation you face. So even in the earthquake back in, what was it, 89? I was here and I was in a place that I was fine. I was safe. And there were other people who were not. And like, the thing is, it's not, awareness is not thinking, awareness is awareness. And you move based on the lightness. And if something feels heavy, you don't want to go there, because that's not necessarily going to create lightness in your life. It's going to create more heaviness. So during that earthquake, there was like, okay, we could go downtown, or we could go over here, or go over there. And I definitely knew something was happening. Actually, my sister was visiting, and we were both like, wow, something weird is going on today. It was just really a strange day before the earthquake in 89. And it was like, what, 5 o'clock or something. And once it happened, it was like, oh, that's what that energy was. So we were aware of it before it happened. How many of you are aware of things, aware of energies before it happens? When you acknowledge it, you get more of that. So for you, Yulia, I would say Moonstone. It's for sensitivity, intuition, and protection. So I would do some Moonstone pieces. And I've just gotten in a whole bunch of Moonstone that's like a peachy, chocolatey, like range of colors. They're really soft and neutral, and they're great for spring. But Moonstone comes in a variety of colors now. It used to only be this like iridescent white, but I guess they've found some new strains of it in the earth and mined it, and now they have peachy colors and chocolate and kind of gray moonstone. It's really beautiful, and it's just very calming and nurturing. So moonstone, pearl, labradorite, those are what I would say. And when I do these private gemstone readings, based on what somebody is looking for and like what price range they're looking to invest in a piece for themselves, I can create a unique piece that will contribute to just that. And so you can find a time for those gemstone reading sessions on my website, julietutonenergy.com/custom. I think it's $40. $40, and it's like a half an hour. And you don't even have to get anything. You can go find some piece somewhere else if that's what you choose. So it's just something fun for you, some information so that you can create a lighter, brighter future for yourself. Let's see. Aquamarine. Aquamarine is, I don't have a piece of it here. But aquamarine is another one that comes in a range of colors from really, really pale blue to more of a mossy green blue. And aquamarine is for courage, peace, and communication. And I bought a piece of aquamarine and set it in a ring, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And I really noticed the difference of wearing that ring and the way that I was able to show up on videos and things like this versus previously. So the communication aspect was really cool. So I invite you to play with this stuff and notice what you notice. Like, don't just take my word for it. Notice what you notice. See if it's a contribution for you. And like, that's really what it's about, is for you enjoying your life and having beauty in your life and having ease and allowing these beautiful pieces from the earth to contribute to you. I love them. I've loved them ever since I was a little kid. I collected rocks and crystals, and they're just something about them. And being able to wear pieces like this piece I designed for myself during the lockdown. It's a Tahitian pearl with rose gold and white gold and diamonds. And I just love wearing it. It's calming, and it's got that nice gold happiness, wealth, and the diamonds, the invincibility. It's just awesome. So, what inspires you? What can you play with? What can you add to your life? And I think that's it, unless there's any other questions. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for joining. And I hope to hear from you sometime. Let's do a private gemstone reading. Oh, so one other thing. I reincarnate your heirloom gemstones. So if you have a piece that was passed down and you don't like the style, or it doesn't fit, or whatever, I can use the stones and create a custom piece for you that you will love. So that's always a possibility. All right, well, enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Mwah. Oh, sparkle more.